These medicines, when used properly, can be very powerful for your life here on Earth and in normal consciousness. And that's really what the movie is all about. And so I'd love to get into some of the guests that we feature in the movie. The first one up is Michael Pollan, and he wrote an incredible New York Times best-selling book called How to Change Your Mind. And Michael is highly respected in the literature field because he's written a lot of books about plant, about food, about all sorts of things. And he's a very mainstream author. So for him to cover a topic like psychedelics was a big deal, because for so long psychedelics were made illegal in the States in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They were still considered counterculture. They were still considered drugs or something that hippies did. But Michael really opened it up and talked about his use, I believe, of 5-MeO-DMT, psilocybin mushrooms, and I don't think he did ayahuasca, and maybe some other things in his book and his experiences. And it was really important that someone of this caliber and very well respected in the writing world came out and talked about this. And so Michael is in our movie as well. And here is Michael talking about some of the concerns he has about the environment and tribalism and politics, and how the psychedelic experience can help to resolve that.
It's going to take some consciousness change to get us out of the box we're in. I mean, the other thing I worry about is the environmental crisis, which I worry about the fact we're not worrying about it enough. It's really serious. I've been, studying climate change for a long time, and yeah, there's been some progress, but I don't think people realize just how urgent the situation is. And it's here. I remember the first time I wrote about it at all was in 1989. I was working on my first book, Second Nature. Talked a little bit about climate change. This was a problem for our grandchildren then. Okay, this is only 1989. And now it's here. It's here. We are confronting it with the weather we're having, with the droughts we're having. And it's arrived faster than we thought, and it's going to be more violent than we think. Yeah, I worry about that too. And it will take a change of consciousness, a reset, and how we do that. Psychedelics can help, but we need politics too. We need good storytellers. We need leaders willing to take a chance.
And look, it doesn't take a genius to look around and realize that we have a lot of division out there, a lot of anger, a lot of hatred, a lot of disconnection from each other and from the environment. And it's not obvious what the solution is. It's not obvious that we can just wake up one day and decide to get along and to start taking care of our environment. And so oftentimes psychedelics can be a way of just taking the ego out of the equation temporarily to give you just a perspective and realize that, wait a second, I don't need to hate that person. We all are one species. Back in the day, we were all helping each other survive, and perhaps that's the way forward. And it's some of the themes that we cover in our next film, Reconnect, and we try to put a lot of this in perspective, including my journey and, of course, my integration. And I can talk more about that a little bit later. At London Real, we believe that individual transformation can change the world. Join us and start your journey today.